All right, let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready. You're ready? Let's unbox this first map. Although, like I said, I'm the first thing I'm going to be looking for here is those hills. And we got them. We got hills, boys. So it's going to be a long, long game here, I expect. Unless we see one of those crazy rushes. Nope. Oops.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so we do see Morec going for that berry opener. He's got an interesting storage pit over here if he goes for it. His gazelle, hard to lure. Both of them stuck against the wall. Two elephants to the north. A nice, beautiful hill to the right. With an interesting little valley here, so we could see some interesting action here on Morec's main hill. Meanwhile, Hio doing his berry start as best he can. He does have those gazelle to the left of his TC, right next to that wood line already, although they are split, I believe. Unless that is two patches. I think that's a patch of eight.
Patch.
Oh, that's a six. Yeah, that's a six and a four. So he's got a double.
That's 10. Yeah, 10 plus an L.
Plus the Ellie, and he's got another six patch out to the left. That's actually a seven patch.
If he pits it the right place, he can get stone, and he can get everything he needs right.
Yeah, this could be huge for him. I mean, I expect he'll push some of those gazelle into his TC. I don't think he'll just sit around while he waits. And Morec messing up that initial lure, I think. Unless he's trying to pit here, I don't know. This is hard. You can't really push those gazelle out. Those are very trapped for him. He might have to figure something out. I think he might just go in and mix it up. Yeah, he's just like, it's like the opening to a game of pool, right? You just smack the cue ball into the group of eight.
Now, he does have 30 15 seconds. He's got 30 seconds for a go back if he decides that this is just not good. But I think it's fine. But somebody could get very discouraged saying, "My only gazelle, she doesn't know there's one on the other side. It's not much better. Is borked up." So, but no, he's going to keep it.
Yeah, and I think keeping it's the right choice here. There's no use in using. I don't think using a go back for a slightly rough start map is the worst. Like I think if it's unusable, you use the go back. That's kind of the premise, and you only get the one, and he's gonna get that elephant to help deal with that issue. So he found the two Ellies, so he'll be fine for the time being. And I do believe we saw Hio. We saw him take his. We saw him spot that elephant out, and he got most of those gazelle to his TC. So it's looking fine to me. I think he could maybe transfer some of those vills off the berries, but I guess he'll just be doing it this way, which is also good. He's got that extra gazelle patch. Looks like he may have spotted it because he did find the ruins out there. He found that center oasis. It is a water oasis. Now remember, guys, you can't build a dock on this or anything, but that little the band of land can be important later on, as if you chop through to the center, it means you can walk around on the inside. And the first one in can theoretically start denying some wood lines from the inside, but we haven't seen that used yet. I'm waiting for someone to use it. I feel like that might become more important as we get to the kind of the higher level players who are looking for minute little advantages rather than just winning the game. Does that make sense, Brum? Like when you have two very evenly matched players, I think that center band could become important around the little lake. You know, because they're going to be evenly matched, right? And so they're going to look for every little advantage they can. And that could be as simple as denying wood for a couple seconds with some slingers, maybe, if it's that kind of chop through. We'll see, though.
I think absolutely. I think little mistakes here get compounded because the opponent is so good. So you really can't afford to make a mistake. And if somebody were to find that kind of a weakness and exploit it, it could be an irrecoverable error.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm more getting that second elephant. Yeah, they're looking very even right now. I just checked the ecos; they're equal on that. Looks like they're both playing the more passive style. We don't see anyone rushing just yet. Morec sending that one Vill off to the north side, so maybe indicative of something. But I think that could just be a scout. He's not going to find a lot. He might find those gazelle, which could be used later. They are in a stone mine as well, so not a terrible spot to send some Vills if you had to.
quick comment from some of the viewers about they'd like to see the time, which really isn't possible here, but maybe I'll just tick it off at each minute mark. So we're currently at 7 minutes 20 seconds.
Oh, it changed my game scaling.
So the actual thing, right? So I'll keep you guys kind of informed.
That's better. I got it now. I fixed it. Okay. Yeah, no, sorry. They apparently every time you restart the game, it changes your game scaling. So that's why we don't have the It's why we don't have the, what's it called? The mini-map mode, the maxi-map, whatever you call it. The mini-map mode is no longer an option for us. Like, I can't go to this because it's broken. Anyway, that being said, let's focus on this. We got the elephant now. Oh, he just missed the lure a bit. And so he is going to be feeling the pain on that one. And we do see that defensive barrack, so it looks like he is aware of the slingers. And that's what he's going to be going for. Oh, Morec with some paint. He's going to try to mix this up a bit. You know what's funny is we've seen a couple players been practicing the scout rush. I think Soygia kind of inspired some people when they saw how decisively you can win against an opponent who's not expecting it. And we see him on the stone here. Do we see him on the stone? No. I wonder what he's going to go for here. He's playing defensively. He has his rally point for his wood line, so I'm thinking maybe he's going for a defensive play here. Well, as Morec... Oh, the stable! The forward stable, but is that in range of the house? Dude, he sees it. He's gonna see it. He's gonna see... Can he deny this? He could deny the stable. Morec, he has an opportunity to quick wall this. The villagers stop chasing. No, Hio, you gotta pay attention. Oh, man, Morec's gonna try this. He's gonna try this. That villager is going to... The quick wall! The quick wall! Step 1, step 2, step 3. Okay, the villager can still get boned, but he's got the slingers there. Can he deny it in time, though?
He's not going to. There's no way he can build that with 4
Oh, what a great play. Morec tried, and the stable will go down. I wonder how much Morec invested in that play. Do you think he did the upgrades? He probably didn't do the upgrades. That would be silly, right? Morec did the upgrades.
Did he?
He did 5 tech.
Well, He
did armor.
One he was gonna do anyway. It looks like
he upgraded cav armor. He was so confident. Oh, poor Morec. But great play from Hio there. Great play from him to spot that along the house. A little bit of bad luck there from Morec, and Hio was able to turn that a bit. And he's gonna see the axeman coming in. Morec was aware enough to not do the +2 armor just yet, but that could mean that Hio sending these vills forward are gonna be a little bit safer.
I don't know why Morec tried to build the stable so close. They're so fast, you don't need to build.
I think it was blind. It was blind. He just dropped the stable next to the house coincidentally, and it was within visual range.
He knew it was close to his opponent's base. I mean, he knows that he was over there. I mean, you could build it quite a bit away, and they're so fast they get to the action quickly.
Now, these axemen that Morec are sending out do not have armor, so Hio has the opportunity here to just melee this down with the vills. He's going to run his vills, though, towards the hill, it looks like. Yeah, he could take a fight on the hill, even. He's got 2 slingers here, ready to defend. He might lose a vill for this. Remember, early vills do really matter, and that will be a vill going down. And this axeman with the attack upgrade could actually do a good heap of damage here. And it will finally go down, and another axer getting in here. But we do see the attack from Cool coming out across this map here at the north side, pressuring Morec here. Morec going for the slingers now. No market upgrade yet for him, though. Just now building up another storage pit on a wood line. He's got those extra gazelle for him, but as does Hio here. So it seems pretty even to me. So far, I think an issue for Morec is going to be that slinger count for Hio being so high, but it'll be interesting. I don't know how he pushes this. Morec has some more time to build some units on a hill somewhere. Morec's going to lose one to the Lions. Gaia in this game, so vicious. So vicious. It really irks me that this game over thing is right in front of my face. That's... the fact that I keep seeing it, it just blocks so much of the screen. Anyway, as we focus on this, Hio coming forward towards this hill with these units here. Morec's aggression seems to have not really paid off here. That stable getting spotted proved devastating. Now
this is going to be tough here. he's got to get a second barracks up. Oh, he's got one. Oh, he does have one there.
And he has that third one still pumping out Axers, but he is just cleaning that up real easy. Look at those Axers just fall on their way out of there. Axers at this point, I don't think they're going to be the answer for Morec. He's going to have to match Hio sling for sling. And because he didn't open with slings and he got no damage from his opening, I think he's in some trouble.
Yeah, he's lost that hill. It's going to be hard to take it back.
Well, he's producing still from the hill, so there's always a chance.
Why Hio is attacking that barracks from low ground? He needs to get up. He needs to get up the top.
It doesn't matter. Attacking up.
Yes, but when he gets attacked, he's Morec is going to do exactly this to him. Now he's going to get pushed off the hill.
Yeah.
If he was up there, he could have fought an even battle.
Yes. But he still did a lot of damage there, and he can just run around. He knew this army isn't going to last forever in Morec space, but making it last a long time is the priority here. So he wasn't looking for a fight against that many slingers, especially with the production right next to the barracks. As Morec demonstrated, he could have just popped out an Axer at any moment, and that would have applied a lot of pressure to that slinger army. And Morec's getting caught out a bit, but he has got some hurt units there, so this fight is going to go Morec's way as he backs off.
He's got a fairly significant eco lead now, 30-24.
Yeah, that's going to be the big deal here, is that Morec had to panic up some extra units, and again, he invested in that Axer and in the scout armor, I do believe. I'm like 90% sure that's what that tech was for him, because he's at 7 techs this early on. Hio's still just on only the slinger tech, right? That's all we see from him, and those lions are actually going to be pretty bad for Hio. Gonna have to deal with them. Morec actually getting a decent army out here, but not enough just yet. We still see Hio only on the 2 barracks. Could potentially be a bit of an oversight, but he has moved to the center here to work on these elephants in the middle of the map. He's going to lose a Vil. Yep, he lost a Vil there. Not paying attention to his Ellie Vils. They autoed into an Ellie. Morec trying to take a good fight here. Oh, Hio's going to be behind him. Hio's got a clutch move here. Look at this. I don't know. It seemed a little late to do the collapse, but he's going to have the flank sooner or later, and that's going to basically squash this army out. Morc's going to have to run it to the line. What's he going to do? He's going to go for the potential raid. Maybe he gets a Vil or 2 if these units survive, but he has got the reinforcements from his main TC, and look at the farms starting to go up for Hio. And we talk about this a lot. Once you get like 15 farms rolling, looks like Hio's map is going to facilitate, what is that, 16 minus 2?
Quick request. KGB's got a good one. He said, please add Hio techs in the Twitch title because folks in age 2 will know who he is.
Change the Twitch title?
Change the Twitch title and put Hio techs in it so that the age 2 players will know he's playing and get some more viewers in here to see this.
Okay. Let's focus on the game, please. So we have Morec. Oh, man. Interesting. I don't know. It looks like Morec's in some trouble, I do think. He's going to call GG there. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was a nice gamut there at the beginning. Unfortunately, he got built in the wrong spot.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll do the title thing, but
get the next room set up.
there you go. For that kind of stuff, we can do that in between games, I think. So what do we got here? The problem with the forward build is that Morec space is now wide open. Yeah, Morec had some issues that game.
Okay. The lobby's up.
I almost just joined the experts lobby, just like out of habits. But yeah, we're gonna hop into this next game here. Oh, King John, thank you for the follow. Wonder if making Bronze Age cheaper would help incentivize actually progressing past Duel. No, I think we've seen it in Duel in the Desert several times already. We have seen a lot of players go for bronze. Not immediately. It's after the sling warfare like leads to that stalemate. Once they get entrenched on hills, everything becomes that kind of it just the whole strategy gets tossed into the air once you get entrenched into Tool Age. Because it's really hard to end a game in Tool Age with slingers, unless you have a significant advantage. Are these the same? He was red. Whatever. Whatever.
Cause a problem.
No, he's red and yellow, or blue and yellow is fine. Just we're the same.
I mean, we're the same color. Is that going to cause a problem?
No. Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Okay, and now we're gonna get into. Oh, I need to update the scoreboard. Hold on. Give me 1 second, Rom. There you guys go. My bad. And we can jump into game 2.
Check everything. All look good.
Yes.
The game already.
Okay. And it seemed like Cool wasn't lagging too much, right?
No, I've been picking Western Europe as the location. I figure it's it's obvious, it's close to where Morec is and halfway between us and Hio, so it seemed to work well.
Yeah, well, we hope it is working for him. Again, we can't see what he's seeing, right, because of the new servers, but...
I can try Western US or Eastern. I'll pick whatever you want.
Yeah, well, if Hio's not complaining, or if he's not complaining, we just roll with it. Alright, so both players going for that berry opening once again, and we do see the maps. Interesting, though. So between Hio and Morec, there isn't really a hill here that he can use to defend the main entrance. Whereas Morec's got a big hill to build on with stone safely in the back of his base. So he's going to be able to do stone. He's got enough food. I like Morec's base here. I really do. He doesn't have elephants except for very, very far out. Those are pretty far. We could see him go for a double lure on these. It's not too long to do a lure, especially with that Sumerian HP. Meanwhile, we do see Hio with his gazelle on the opposite side of his berries. We'll see how he handles those. That can be problematic in some instances. It's a lot tougher to push those. You have to do you have to finagle those a lot if you want those under your TC. You have to push them south and to the left. It's like the knight maneuver in chess, and it feels like you're playing an entire game of chess just to get those dang things to cooperate. But we'll see how this progresses here. Morec already getting his gazelle under TC. It's going to be 2. Messing it up a bit as one gets pushed a little further away. Morec struggling here with that first lure. Just getting the 1, though. Not a bad start for him. And again, we have that wooded center, which is always fun to see. It's far less likely. Oh, that lion is going to help him or hurt him. He is going to handle this lion. He's got to stop the lion. He's going to start the push. The lion wants it. Oh, man. Simba, no. Oh, man. I'm just looking at the maps here. I think this is going to go down to Slinger War, but at the same time, Morec's already sending that Vil forward. Could he be trying something shifty again? What are the odds he goes for another attempt at that stable rush? I think it's rather high. I'm not certain. But I think he might be going for that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, so I think if he goes for the stable rush again, he's going to be in some trouble. And Mark's going to be going for these Gazelle, I believe, now, as it would seem to indicate with that storage. But yeah, it's going to be smart for him as he gets his second Gazelle patch starting towards his TC. And we see Hio building, this is intentional, building this storage pit, not on this, but here. I think that's a clear indication that he's going to go for the slingers as he's placed that on the stone mine. Meanwhile, still struggling against this lion, but looks like he managed to deal with all of his Gazelle easily enough. As we can see that the delay that the berries being in the way causes is quite significant here. But he's going to be able to get this Gazelle just now under his TC as Morec's artifact is able to pass unperturbed, so it did just spot that storage pit. Which does mean that if Morec did want to rush this game, he could go for it. Now, will he? I'm not sure. After how easily Hio dismantled the axe and stable combo, I don't think Morec's going to go for it again. I think he has to go for... I think he has to go for Slinks this game. I don't think he can risk another loss because of a failed rush. And maybe he goes for it in a different way, but I think he saw how calmly Cool handled that whole situation and how it was really relatively easy for Cool there to just keep a cool head and not worry about it really. I mean, the stable was nullified. He had the slingers out in time because he was faster to tool. He had the Vills bop it down. The Axeman posed no issue. I think he lost like maybe one, maybe two Vills Hio did last game to those Axers. Other than that, Morec's aggression completely failed. So I think for Morec's sake, he's going to be needing to go for a more defensive play. Now that being said, if they do get involved in that long-term trench warfare style thing, we're going to see a really interesting thing unfold, and that's the fact that Hio has no hill to fall back on. I guess he has this hill, but that would leave his whole economy exposed. As we've seen, he's going for his eco here. He'd have to retreat to here, which is not a sustainable position. So it's interesting. Morec certainly has the better map. It's going to be really hard to shut down his slinger production, and his slinger production is going to be protecting his farms at the least, easily some of his stone. And here we see a beautiful double lure from Morec. Excellent technique. He's going to be getting both of those pretty easily as long as he keeps it up here, and it looks like he's going to. If you haven't seen how to do perfect technique, make sure you check out my tutorials.
Oh, that's beautiful. That was a beautiful job. Beautiful.
Indeed, absolutely gorgeous, and great stuff from him, as we do see the market already going up for both players. So we are going to see a classic Slinger War, which to me indicates, I mean, if there was a hill right here next to this gold mine for VNS Cool, I would certainly expect this game to go bronze. However, due to the lack of hill, I think it's going to be a little bit harder to call that, because if Morec ever gets an advantage, there's nowhere that Cool can fall back on, right? He's going to be kind of stuck in this position. Now, if he maintains advantage and never loses it, it's going to be hard for him to push. So we could still see the bronze happen, right? But again, we do see 4 for 4, so this build order nearly identical here. Like you could, even to the timing of the houses, which is absurd, which is absolutely absurd. Gazelle still in the middle, but as the natural food runs out and the players transition into farms, that's going to be where you're going to see the biggest changes in Vil production, build order, and how many units they can make, because the transition into farms is a tricky one. Morec's going to be able to delay a little bit longer because he has 2 elephants under his TC, whereas Cool only has the 1. That's a difference in the maps. But again, Morec on the O here. He's going to be a little bit out of his attack opportunity here because it's a little late. I think it's just a little late. And that lion's going to potentially come in and deal some damage, but no, Morec just going for the info game as the slingers are cleaned up here, or pushed away at the least. And now Hio pushing out here. Are we going to see that third barracks coming down? Yeah, I think Morec's about to drop his third barracks, and we still just see the 2 for Cool. Interesting. Yeah, there's that third barrack. So the production's going to go up for Cool. Now, something we've seen throughout this tournament so far is that the first person to build that third barracks generally gets an army advantage. However, they tend to fall off in eco production. You can see both players here still producing pretty evenly. A 1 vil difference isn't a huge deal, because as long as you keep them working and stuff, you know, there are little bouts of inefficiency that vils have. You know, like Hio's got or Cool's got these 4 vils now on Barry, so that's a little bit slower, right? So 1 vil difference isn't a big difference. It's when you start getting several, like if you're a dozen or so vils ahead, you could start seeing really cheeky bronze plays. You could see your production scale very, very nicely. And seeing how much wood Cool keeps investing into his TCs, I think he's going to need to make some more army pretty soon here. He might be falling short here on production. I think he got a little complacent, and now he's going to struggle against this army from Morec. This is looking tough. There's that third barracks. Okay, so he is investing in this. Morec just now starting to get his farms up.
Yeah, I think he's definitely got enough to defend here. And Morec's going to be a little concerned about making an assault onto to Cool's town with that size army. I mean, that's a good incursion army, but it's not that big. It's not enough to feel confident to get into a TC with, because he doesn't know what Cool has.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to lose. I mean, you don't want to lose a dozen slingers because you went into a town that's defending with, you know, 15. He also doesn't know that Cool doesn't have a hill.
Yeah, well, we saw him. He had an artifact. His artifact is now off to the right side of Hio's base, so he does in fact know that there's no hill in the way. But Hio's gonna have the numbers. Yeah, Cool has the numbers here to defend this. Morec's gonna try to pressure in here. That lion causing a little bit of disruptance in the back line. Yeah, he's gonna have to stop and deal with that. That could be a difference maker. Yeah, Cool's gonna have to be careful about aggressing here, because remember, we talked about this. He can have the aggression, but without a defensive hill, if he loses the numbers in any meaningful way, as 4 of these slingers move forward, just to spot him off guard, he's going to go for a flank here. He does just have the 3 barracks. It doesn't look like he's investing in a 4th. We don't see a 4th from Morec just yet either. Big battle line coming out as the players try to spread out and maximize their surface area. There are some hurt slingers in the front for both players as they click around. And you see, this could be a couple slings going down for Cool, as Morec tried to get a neat flank in. He's only going to get the 1, maybe. Nope, 2 HP, and he will finally go down. So the kill count in favor of Cool pretty significantly here, 7-3. So a lead of 4 in that regard, and also a lead of 5 in Vils. This is looking tricky for Morec. He has 2 Vils out here. I wonder if he's looking to build more barracks. And yeah, there's the 4th barrack. So looks like Cool either is very familiar with this style of gameplay, or he's done his homework and watched some of the games even. Because he hasn't played Age 1 in a while, right? VNS Cool, if you're unfamiliar, is a top-tier Age 2 player. But it seems like he's confident in this play style, and he seems to understand what he needs to do to win this game. So he's put himself in all the right... He's doing all the right steps. Let's just put it that way. Let's see when he gets that bronze, though. He's up to 37 Vils, so he's really maintaining Vil production. And he's going to have a good hill here to maybe try to collapse from. It's tricky for Morec to push into this. Oh, no, you got to watch this. Yeah, he's going to go for the surround, but Morec could just go for the eco. Morec's just going to run the eco, and Cool's going to try to wall this off maybe in a pinch. He's going to go for the barracks, but Morec could really neutralize the Vil count here if he kills those Vils.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake to pull on Hio's part, to pull those slingers so far back for that hill.
Well, I don't know now. It's interesting. So Morec is forced into this. Morec is now forced to run Hio's eco. That's something he did, right? And if Hio pays attention, I think Cool knows what he's doing here. I think this is intentional. He went for the trap, and it forces Morec this way. Now it's going to give Morec a hill in his base potentially, which is an issue for Cool.
It's going to force Cool to defend on 2 sides now. I mean, you know, if Morec plays this guy's right, he can run the Eastern army around, and he can start to build up a second Western army, which is going to force Hio to defend 2 different directions. Because again, his eco is in here, so he has to defend it. And Morec can run wherever he needs to run.
Yeah, and all this kerfluffle has given Morec a chance. He's caught up that Vil count to just a deficit of 5 when it was a bit larger before. Yeah, this is good positioning from Morec, but I still think that Cool had a good play there. He went for the surround and it forced something out of Morec. So even though you might look at this and say Morec played the position right, it was still something that Hio controlled, and now Hio has the opportunity to have the upper hand here because half of Morec's army is trapped on that hill off to the east, and he doesn't have the numbers. Oh, Morec's gonna get a really nice play here. He's gonna run rotation. Yeah, very good rotation.
This could be a major hit.
I don't think it's gonna be that big a deal. I think Cool's gonna notice this immediately upon like 2 or 3 vills going down. We see the run now. So yeah, 3 vills going down, and now he's going to bring the army back. It looks like he got caught off guard a little bit, but notice the center. I mean, Cool's pushed Morec back to his hill, and we spoke about this before. That hill is going to be such a big defensive structure. And interesting, Morec decided to build one of his barracks forward, maybe to reduce the rotation time on that. But it's going to give Cool some time to maybe hit the barracks, take down a few things. He could even look for some Vil kills here as a neutralizer, as Morec comes now with his army on this eastern front, able to defend here. Just fine for him. He is off of his farms for a long time, though. This could be a difference maker here. Like we said, this is an 8 vil lead now for Cool. So Cool
but we've lost a few vills in there, so we're not sure how much the lead is.
No, his vil high is still going up. So he's at 42, I believe, is his current vil count. Now, Morec is able to defend on his center. His eco center here, and it looks like Cool's going to be forced to retreat out of that fight. And Morec, as you said, is still running that army for a long time, so this play could turn out to be very bad for him. Oh, we see the stable, though, from Hio. Cool's mining gold. Cool's going up to bronze. He's had the Vil lead for too long. He was able to stabilize when he pressured with that army. That could be a mistake. He's going to have to keep making slingers, which he will be doing. But he's got the stable, and he's going up for the Bronze Age. Now pulling off some units, so it looks like he's going to have just the barely going to have numbers advantage on the east side. And the gold income is going to be indicative of that bronze. There's the bronze, a second stable going up. So we're going to see camels out of him. But with only 3 on gold, that's not quite enough to get enough. There's the 5th, the 5 vils. He's going to have to keep making slingers, though, if he wants to stay in this game. He's got some more units.
23:45 was the time he went up, so we'll see. I think it's going to be a long gap between when Morec makes bronze, if he makes bronze.
Do you see any indicators in his base? No, yeah, he's going to be going for bronze as well, but not in any time soon. He's still only got 1 on stone, which could prove problematic. He's still on the 4 barracks. As those camels do come out with that attack upgrade, they are going to prove nice in terms of meat shields and going to give Cool the upper edge here. The big situation for him, though, is going to be getting that wheel upgrade, getting more TCs. He's done a really good job of not dying to these raids. He's lost very few vills to all of these slingers coming in of his base. And once he gets the wheel, it's interesting. Once he gets the wheel, chariots become an opportunity as well. Chariots with that only 100 HP, but it feels like they do a little bit better against those slingers because their cost is a little bit lower, and they still can benefit from the +4 attack upgrade. You can see these camels proving essential to the defense here. Do we see Bronze Shield coming out for VNS Cool? That could be a nuance of the game that Cool does not quite realize.
Morec is now going to click bronze. He just put the ranges.
Two ranges, yeah. That's going to be CA. So he's going to go for that approach versus the camels. And now we see the melee chariots coming out from Cool here. And that's going to be more than enough to start cleaning these guys up.
Going the CA route means he's going to have to wait till he gets wheel before he can pump out his first units. That's another delay, which is really going to be problematic, given that Cool is starting to bring the attack to straight to Morec.
Yeah, and also, a big thing here is he's now building that government center, so we're going to start seeing the boom coming out. So the longer that this takes Morec, the worse this gets for him at this point. I really liked Cool's play here. He hit bronze really, really early, and now he's managing this army control pretty well. He's not going for any slingers anymore. He's completely canceled all slinger production. Morc's going to get the quick wall off.
I think we're seeing the end here.
I'm not sure about that just yet, but those chariots are going to be problematic.
Going to have to get... Remember, he's got to click wheel before he can get anything, so we're sitting there waiting for the bronze. And he's clicked it, but he hasn't hit it. Then he's got to click wheel, and then he's got to produce units, and he only has 2 archery. I mean, look at the number of chariots we got running around in here.
Yeah, the timeline's starting to look pretty grim for Morec as this play from Cool. I mean, that was one of the fastest bronzes we've seen that came out of a slinger war. You know what I mean? Like, that was a fully entrenched big war, and now these chariots are just going to run the eco.
This is irrecoverable.
I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, if he keeps making slingers, he can keep fighting these melee chariots. But if he gets pushed off of all of his stones, he is now bronze. So there's still a glimmer of hope here for Morec, but we do see the slingers from Cool on top of that range. So the ranges are going to be problematic. Well, the raids from these chariots with the +2 armor now, it's basically impossible for Vils to beat him, and that +4 attack means they deal even better with slingers. But Mark's doing the right thing. He's defending the farmers with the slings as more and more of these chariots just come wheeling in. This map is so open that you really start to see the value of these cav units. And it's funny because we talked about this. The best unit for Slinger War to make when you get bronze is actually cavalry. But you don't get it. You have to do these substandard options, right? You have to do the camels, which have low attack and no real benefits here. Or you have to do chariots, which are a little bit weaker, and we already see nobility coming in. Yeah, this is looking grim. This is looking grim. 64 Vils. He's starting the boom. He's got that second town center up on the wood line. He's got some gold coming in with the TEC as he was starting to build a 4th stable. So he was just going to all in on these chariots, and Morec didn't have the opportunity to wall. You know, that could have been interesting. As soon as you see the Bronze Age, maybe going for the wall off could have been a wise choice. Just to buy yourself a little bit of time and try to hold the wall with your own slingers. Force a choke point for the chariots. Rather than letting them do what they're good at, which is spread out, raid, get everything, get that damage going. Good game, though, nonetheless, as VNS Cool takes game 2 very, very quickly here. Good stuff.
And it's the first time we've seen chariots, really, I think. Why does it gives me an error when I try to make this room?
Yeah, upon hitting bronze, the tech advantage was just there. I don't think Morec was at all prepared for that. Usually, we see players kind of stick around in that toolage for a lot longer, and VNS Cool just completely upset that by really focusing. I think the benefit for him here was I think his economy was a lot more focused than Morec's towards getting to the Bronze Age. I think maybe that was potentially, I don't know. He had the house wall. Everything from him looked good until I think the issue for Morec really was that raid. You know how we saw him get pushed? It was interesting that he split Cool's attention, right? But Cool had more production, so Cool was able to make a push on the left and defend on the right. So it turned out to be an issue for Morec. You know, Morec didn't have any options after that. He had to do, as you said, he had to buy time with the Western or the Eastern army. Well, his Western, the Western front was really destroyed here. This front line, you know, we see this burning barrack, and that was all from that first slinger, that real twist in the slinger warfare. Interesting play though from both players. Really cool tactics playing out there, and we saw the benefits of that. And Cool able to do it without a hill. Very good stuff from him. I'm excited for game 3.
So there we have a tool game, a bronze game. Will we get an iron game?
You just want your
I want to see the full. I want to see the full range.
No, you want your prediction to be right.
Well, of course. I mean, why would I want to lose my streak of being right in these things?
Oh, we've seen a lot of so short swordsmen are really interesting, because Sumerian actually get Legion, or no, they get longsword, and a lot of people forget that longsword, even though it's not the Legion upgrade in early Iron, it's really powerful, and also even the broadsword, when your opponent isn't prepared for it, the broadsword, it's basically the spam of it, right? You have so many units, they're so cheap, and you already have like 4 or 5 barracks. So going for those broadswords isn't as trolly, you just do it. You just click it, and you have it.
Yes.
Spectator Sumer. Good.
Yeah, just double checking. You picked US West this time.
Already.
Is that intentional? Why did we change?
I tried to do East, and it just gave me an error. I don't know why.
You should go back to what we were playing on. Don't mix this up.
No. Yes.
Yeah, sorry guys, we have a quick technical issue there. Yeah, so you can look at the bracket there, as Zeta just brought up for you all. That is the bracket we're looking at right now. The winner of this match goes on to fight Memo. So no matter what, the winner of this match is in for a treat, right? Whoever it ends up being, it's gonna be interesting, right? I think that's something we can all agree on. The winner of this fights Memo. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see that game. I don't care who it is. Either one of these players could go on and give us a good show. Before starting, can we just see what his response is? I just want to see if he responds here.
Sure.
We'll see if he doesn't respond. Okay.
All right, good.
Start the
Yep.
game already.
So I just wanted to check with him because we did see some issues in the game with Zeta versus Thontuk. It appears that Thontuk was lagging for a lot of the game. Although, when I looked at it, it looked suspiciously similar to my FPS issue. So I think maybe it's just his PC, but also that could have been a server-side issue. So I don't know. I don't know what was going on with that, but his point of view looked really choppy. And I don't want to be subjecting players to that unnecessarily, if that has to do with pings, As we see both players opening with the berry start. And this time, Cool has some hills. So, again, we've spoken about this, but hills provide a nice advantage. If you're ever at a disadvantage in a fight, you can back up to the hill, and you have a good opportunity to make a comeback, which makes this map so back and forth. Oasis ends up turning a lot into a ping-pong match, really. Because on maps like Highland and Hill Country, the hills don't cover as much land as they do. In Oasis, you see they just kind of cover the entire section here, right? It's really hard to make slingers go past an army here, right? So I'm just excited. And we saw the strategies. We saw the different opponent bronze units, right? We saw Cool. He opted for those camels. Turned out to be the right choice, but he also had the speed there. And we saw that Morec was planning on going for those chariot archers. Do you think he was right in that choice? You seemed to be a little disgruntled with his choice.
With the chariots?
No, with the chariot archers.
You mean the chariot archers? If you're first to bronze, chariot archers can be a fine choice because you can afford the time for the wheel. But in this case, not only did, Cool bronze first substantially, but he didn't go that, so it allowed him to get his units out fast. He got those camels out immediately. And then when the wheel came in, he switched to that where he no longer had to have people on gold. He got his attack upgrades. He did all that. But if you're second to bronze and you don't have the opportunity for camels or anything, you have no defense against Bronze Age units coming in.
Yeah, and I think that's what we saw.
And he knew he was second to bronze, so I'm not sure why he decided to do it with archery ranges.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. That's a thing I had never thought about, because in almost every other setting that you could possibly think of, if you have mirror civs, the first unit you make is basically locked in, right? You get to bronze and it's like, there's the unit, right? Like when we had well, obviously that was a bronze war, but for Assyria, when we did that, it was always chariot archers. So, bronze speed mattered, but, unit choice was basically locked in. And in Schengen Shambles, we saw a couple bronzes, not a lot, but a couple. And in those, it was very much so about the Cav early, because you had Cav against tool units, right? And Cav seemed to be really good. But here, it's not so clear cut. Camels are a counter unit, but they are a gold unit, so you can make them, right? I really didn't think about the strategy choice. It was certainly a strategic choice that he made, because he did it so cleanly. He made camels until he had the wheel, and then it was chariots from that point on, right? So all that melee, the stable was just super efficient for him, and I hadn't thought about that, right? He didn't have to muck around with the range ever. Now, that did mean he couldn't go for a full rainbow, because he couldn't go for, like, a siege workshop or something, right? But it was still interesting what he did.
Yeah, I think he properly anticipated that since he was pushing so quickly into bronze, that he might be under pressure from slingers. In order to save up that much food, where your opponent's just stringing the slingers in, he's probably thinking, okay, I might be under pressure. I need something really, really fast. And that's a fast unit to get, and it worked. It stopped the slinger aggression until he could build the bronze army he really wanted, which was the chariots.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what we've seen here in these first two games is Cool seems to be playing flawlessly. I can't think of any significant mistakes he's but I think we've now seen a couple of mistakes on Morec's side. The first one was partially accidental, I guess, but I mean, building that forward stable so close increased the probability that somebody was going to see it. And really a key element of a scout rush is surprise. If you don't have the surprise, then it's problematic. So he really should have tried to build it back further. Mm-hmm. I think that cost him the first game. Second game, I don't know that, a different choice for going bronze would have made a difference or not, because I think he was already behind, like you said, once the Eastern Army split off. At first I was thinking, okay, this could work out really well. And I think it worked out okay. But I think with a smaller eco, he couldn't rebuild a Western Army fast. But yeah. Cool seems to be playing flawlessly. I'm having trouble, thinking of something significant that he's done that Morec could have capitalized on.
So we're going to see an axe rush versus a scout rush. Morec's doing it. Morec's trying it again, and this time it's going to go undetected. But the axe rush on him could be more fatal. We'll see if the units ever come into conflict. Axers tend to be better. They have better combat stats because of the extra damage, and they can get armor versus it. But the difference there is that he just showed this house. So I mean, Cool's gonna know that something's up. The question is, does he know that fully upgraded scouts are about to come out of this, and he has no defense at home for this? And actually, we even see an Axer here about to catch these vills off to the right. So this time, Cool tried to mix up his strategy here, and this might give Morec a more even game, because this is about to become a scrap, right? We're about to see a fully scrappy game. That first scout comes out, it's got the +2 and the +2. He's going to get on top of that. Meanwhile, the woodline for Morec is destabilized from those Axers, so a lot of vills running around for Morec. Meanwhile, this scout doing a lot of damage here. This could be a very interesting game as that Axer comes in to help. The Axer has no armor, so Hio does have, or Cool, sorry, does have the opportunity to bone that down. Meanwhile, the scout coming back in for round 2 as Morec is walling off just in time on this wall. Oh, no, the woodline! The woodline's going to fail. Oh, 3 of those vills stepping out just a little too far. Morec missing that wall off as, man, this is tough.
Game.
Yeah, this is going to get very, very messy.
This scout is just going to drive Cool bananas.
It's already really low, though. We're seeing the Sumerian villager bonus really come into play here. That extra HP is going to mean that he can take down that scout. It's just 1 scout. It's not 3. And this is something that's really interesting. I think Axers are a better choice here because it's a scrap game, right? The scout rush wasn't perfect because the disruption here. So now Morec has no food income. So he can't afford the scouts. And the upgrades for the scouts are so expensive. He's going to get a second one out now. But remember, that armor upgrade costs you a lot. 125 food for that is very, very expensive, as 6 of the villagers from Cool are on the run here. This could be the best position Morc's been in yet, but he's got a lot of Axers on his wood line. He's got some defending Axers coming, but again, he doesn't have armor on his Axers because he has no food. And yeah, Cool's going to notice this immediately, and look at those Axers just get absolutely shredded. Meanwhile, the vills still being run down, hunted by that scout. Those vills are as good as dead unless Cool does some insane splits. But Morec going to get a full run from his woodline as well, so Morec is completely disjointed from this attack. Meanwhile, all of his vills on those berries are about to be under duress, as Morec still doesn't have the Axer armor, so his Axers aren't going to compete nearly as well in this combat.
Morec has lost almost his entire eco. Both his bill sets are under assault.
Meanwhile, that scout's coming in for round 2. He's going to find the second stuff, so the scout could still be really powerful here.
And we got fully upgraded Axer behind it.
Cool hasn't done any defensive stuff on these vills. He's going to try to get a split and run his eco. He's going to have to do something creative here. He's going for farms back at home, but he's going to need army to defend. He's sending some Axers this way. A few Axers could really help the defense. Remember, Cool does have 5 vills that came forward in this match. Onto those berries, and he's going to get a woodline pretty tucked away, nice and safe, as several of Morec's vills have also found their way to a relative safety. It seems like he was able to get some splits off pretty nicely. Meanwhile, these 2 scouts are proving absolutely critical here, getting 2 more vill kills as the Axers chase down some more vills. This is a problem. This is a problem for Cool at this point. He needs to deal with these scouts, and fast, because every one that Morec is able to afford is just so powerful. And as we see, two fully upgraded Axes coming just now right past that woodline for Cool as the scouts pressure in on the farms. They're going to attack the farm, though, not the vills. So it's going to give Cool a bit of a chance, a little reprise here in the fighting as the players are once again on the run. Cool, again, moving out into the middle of the map, but this time the scouts are here to defend for Morec. So Morec could take a pretty good fight here with the scouts. Cool, running these vills out into the middle of nowhere. If Morec has scouted this, he knows where that artifact is going, and he might suspect that the vills are grouped with it. He's going to maybe barely clip this. He's chasing the artifact. He's chasing the artifact. Morec is on top of this game. Morec has this game. He has the number of Cool. He's had perfect counter after perfect counter. But now it looks like he's a little bit trouble. Man. I say has this game, as in, like, he has Cool's number in this game. I don't think it's over just yet. This is going to get messy. This is going to come down to who can get more natural food in the next little bit.
This 2020 kill, 2020 bill high.
Oh, as the Axers from Morec are caught out on the right corner. We see that market now going up for Morec.
Morec needs to shut those farms down. It's the only food income that that Cool has. So if he's successful in stopping that farm production, then he can stop the the production of axes, and he is on it. So Morec, no farms. He's got to do all hunt. So the Bills are out looking for him. He also has no woodies. So I don't know if he's got enough wood for another pet.
Yeah, that's going to be a big issue for him. Morec's really on the run.
He's found a good spot. He's got an elephant. If he can keep it. If he can keep it.
This timeline is so even. It's so even.
So Cool has managed to get a farm up again. So he's now 2 farms up. Running.
Oh, Cool found the elephant immediately.
Yes,
Morec didn't even get a chance to drop off any of the food. He gathered 50 from it, and look at all those vills just carrying around the food. That's so depressing for him. But it looks like...
Now, do you lose food if you attack? Did he lose all the food he was carrying?
Nope.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
No, I don't see any with food.
They're all holding food, right?
I'm checking them. They don't show any food.
It doesn't show you the food on vills. Because you're not the player, so you don't see the numbers.
Oh, okay. Because he needs every piece of food he can get. It's a big weakness for him right now because he has no farm production.
This is a really scrappy game, man.
Yes, it is.
Both players defending all of their vills with their axers, and it looks like Cool's going to try some plays here. He's going to run into the 3 axers, but one of his axers is going to lead, so he's going to lose 50 food for free here. And this is the kind of thing you got to start thinking about your units as, like, at this point, villagers are more valuable than a unit, but also units are the same price as a. It's a weird dichotomy now that the world pop is down to 22. The world pop is lower than it was at 3 minutes into the game.
And here comes the scout back into Cool's, coming after those farms again. He's got to be careful though, because those axes are, well, one of them's almost dead.
Yeah, one of that axes.
He needs to pick that axer off and then run.
Well, it would take 2 hits, which might just be too much. 2 hits onto that axer is going to take some time. It's going to come into the farms. This is a bad choice.
Yeah, he keeps hitting the farm. It's wrong. He must be just clicking.
It's really hard. It's really hard to click on a vill when they're on top of farms. A vill is in the open, but Morec is micros. He's going to micro that scout until it dies, like horrendously.
He has lost he's lost the production of that eco over there again.
He lost all of his axes. It looks like Cool was able to do it.
And Cool's got 2 more coming in.
You know what may have been critical this game? It's those 3 villagers on the berries on the south side of the map.
This is going to hurt. This is going to hurt. He's going to lose.
This could be it. That could be game. That could be game. I mean, other than that, Morec has 2 vills on wood. That's all he has.
And
is that farm working? No, that farm's not even being worked. Now, the difference maker is that he does have 3 units pressuring this line for Cool. Cool's potentially going to lose these 3 vills. Yeah, he's going to lose those vills.
Yeah, they're gone. They're gone.
But now Cool still has those 3 vills getting food off to the left. It's going to come down to the combat between the 3 units that Cool has. Well, 4 now, actually. So Cool has the 4 axemen. And Morec has the axeman and the scout. This is for all the money. If Morec loses this fight, he's going to lose. He's going to have to fight with the vills, I think. He's going to have to fight with his vills, the axer, and the scout. He has more collective HP. But these axers are undamaged, and axers have the best stat. Oh, Cool's got to pay attention here. He's getting split. Cool could do this, I think. I don't know. He now has those gazelle at the south side of the map, and he hasn't found that yet. And he's not going to find it for a long time because he's not making units for a long time.
Oh, you got to get that farmer again.
He's coming back for it.
Goes, yeah.
Yeah, Cool got caught trying to split. More exciting a Vil at the far right with 5 HP. That Vil is left for dead here. He's going to try to set up a storage pit to hunt himself back into this game. Let's check the world pop. What is it at? 21. The world pop is just declining as Cool seems to take the timeline here. It's not over yet, but it's really close. It's up to the scout to really do something here.
I think, the problem is those farms. So he's now got 2 Axers and 2 Villagers in his TC.
I mean, meanwhile, he's hunting at 6. Like, he has 3 Vills that have been unperturbed. They did 2 berries, and now they're doing Gazelle. And that's what's providing him an Axer every couple seconds. And he's gonna get it on the woodline, and that's... I mean, these are the last 3 working Vills. I mean, he has this storage pit. Morec has 4 Vills, and he's losing... He lost 1. One of these others is under duress. Wow, yeah, Cool's got this. This has to be it, right? There's no way the scout, the Axer he has 5 HP. His scout's still in the game. I know, it's really funny. It's really funny. 19 world pop.
No,
but losing this
game
game
at this point is you've got food income for Cool and none for Morec. I mean, he's got no food income whatsoever. And
yeah.
So, what are you going to do?
And more problematic than that for him is if he loses this game, he's out of the tournament round 1. Yeah, that's going to be a first. That's a first. Morec has been dismantled.
What a performance by Cool. I mean, just
that was absurd. I mean, I didn't expect he's good at this game. I'm never gonna deny that. But he's known for his H2 play, right? He's on a professional team for H2, right? So he's obviously good at RTSs. But for him to play our least common map, Oasis, that well, I mean, I want to say he prepared. I want to say that he came into this match prepared. Like, he understood the opportunities, the strategies in the Civ matchup, right? The Sumerian versus Sumerian. He understood what to do here. And I think he really flipped this game on its head by, in Game 3, completely changing his strategy to a well-executed Axe Rush. I don't think Morec expected it. I mean, Morec handled... I think at first both players handled it as best they could. But I think eventually it just came down to little choices adding up. Like, Cool having 3 villagers in the south, I think saved him. Because there were times when his farmers weren't working, when he was getting chased around by, scouts and whatnot, and he just had those 3 vills on berries. And Morec just had nowhere to do that. And that's going to be the set. That's 3-0. That's insane. Going into this, I would have said these would be good games and close games, as they were. I would have not expected it to go 3-0 Cool. I didn't expect a 3-0 either way.
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't know what to expect, as I said in the beginning, from Cool, because I know he's a talented player, but I just didn't know how he would fare on this map. But yeah, I never would have guessed 3-0. What an incredible performance.